All right, let's go through our practice questions. So the first question asks you to draw a straight line that has a positive slope. So on this graph here, we have a straight line with a positive slope. It's going up to the right. And then we ask, does this line describe a direct relationship or an inverse relationship? So we're going to look at the way this line is trending to answer that question. It's a direct relationship because as the y value gets larger, the x value also gets larger. So it's a direct relationship. Okay, our second question asks you to label the slope and the y-intercept in this equation. Y equals negative 1x plus 4. So remember that our linear equation that we started with is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. So in this equation, our slope is negative 1. B is our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is 4. The next part of the question asks you to draw a graph for this line, to draw this line on a graph. So to do that, we're going to start at the y-intercept here at 4. 4 on the y-axis and 0 on the x-axis. And then we're going to use our slope to determine the next point on the line. We know our slope is negative 1. So in rise over run terms, that's negative 1 over 1. So we'll do our rise first. We'll start at this 4, our y-intercept. We're going to go down 1 for our rise, negative 1, and then over to the right 1. And this will be our next point. Then we would do the same thing, down 1, over 1, down 1, over 1, and that's how we draw our line. Now the next part of the question asks you to label your graph. And we're saying that Y is the price of potatoes in dollars per pound, and X is the number of pounds of potatoes you can sell, the quantity. So we'll label our graph to reflect that. We have price in dollars per pound here on the y-axis, and our pounds sold, our quantity, on the x-axis. Our next question is, if you were to set the price at $3, how many pounds of potatoes would you sell? So to answer this question, we're going to look at where our line goes through the 3 as a y value. So that's right here. And then we go down from that to the x-axis to find it's 1 pound. So at $3, we're going to sell 1 pound of potatoes. Our final question asks us to make a table with the points on this line. So our first point, we had already determined the y-intercept, where x equals 0. The y value is 4. So in our table, that looks like this. 0 under quantity and 4 under the price. Remember that we always report the x value first and the y value second. Our next point, which we already plotted on our line, is where the pounds sold, the quantity is 1, and the price is 3. So that looks like a 1 and a 3 there. Our next point is 2 pounds at $2. The next point is 3 pounds at $1. And the final point is 4 pounds at $0. So your table should look like this. It should have these exact numbers in it. So these are the things that we should now be able to do with graphs. We should be able to determine whether a line indicates a direct relationship or an indirect relationship, depending on whether it has a positive slope or a negative slope. We should be able to determine what the slope of a line or a curve means in the context of a graph. So depending on what the graph shows us, we looked at price versus quantity graphs. We should be able to know what the slope of a line tells us about that information. We should be able to plot points on a graph from a table. And we should also be able to create a table from a simple graph like we did in that last question. And finally, we should be able to plot a line using a simple linear equation. So next up, you will want to do the practice worksheet that I will post, and I'll post some answers to that too, so you can check yourself.